This is Milwaukee's 2742 cordless 16 gauge nail gun. You're working with Larry, and we're going to do a tested tool review. This Milwaukee nail gun is 16 gauge. It shoots on either single shot or rapid fire, which I've never used it on rapid fire. I don't see the point. I've had the gun about a year, and we've used it for a lot of the millwork that we've done in this house. Quite a bit, actually. It shoots really good. It beats lugging an air hose around. It's really handy. It's not real light. It's kind of heavy, actually. I don't know what it weighs, probably somewhere around 8 pounds. But I do have a heavy battery on it. These retail for about $349 on Amazon with the batteries. They shoot good. I don't know how they work. They're nothing like the DeWalt's that seem to ramp up. They're nothing like the Hitachis or the Pass Loads that have gas cartridges. There's no cartridges in these. All they use is a battery. They seem to shoot fairly well. The nails sink really good. That one didn't sink all the way. It's shooting it into hardwood. I've never used it in bump fire mode. I'm not exactly sure how it works. Okay, that should be it. I'm not sinking all the way in that harder wood, but it seems to work pretty good. I don't have the depth set all the way, I don't believe. Sinks good. I like it pretty good. It uses 16 gauge nails, which I do believe are a little bit too large for trim work. Probably better off for this kind of trim using an 18 gauge. But I like the power it has. It's a powerful gun. Let's try just to see if it'll shoot through the corner. I can't get to it actually. No, it's split. It split it really good. It's a little bit too big of a gun for that. You might want to use a 1/4 crown stapler if you're going to blow your corners together. But this thing, just the size of the nail is a beast. I think I've got 2 1/4 inch nails in it. Now this thing, being made by Milwaukee, Milwaukee's been around as a tool company for a really long time. I think somewhere in the early 1900s, they first started making a 1/4 drive drill for Ford that was light enough under 5 pounds used on the assembly line. Later on, they started just being a tool repair company. And then, of course, in the 50s, they came out with the Milwaukee Sawzall, which everybody's heard of. But it's no longer an American company. It's owned by, I guess, some kind of Chinese company now. But Milwaukee, America, still tries to keep people with every tool that they need. There's nothing you need out there that they probably don't make. I'm not a spokesman for Milwaukee tools. I use Milwaukee and other brands. I've got lots of other kinds of tools. But I saw this Milwaukee. I wanted to try it out. I thought people would be interested. I was definitely interested in this kind of gun without the cartridges, or definitely without the air tank. So I do like it. I've used it with the small battery, and I've used it with the larger battery. It seems to shoot a little harder with the larger battery, but I guess it's because the smaller ones run down a lot faster. I do like this gun. Honest opinion, it's pretty good for trim work, but if you're going to do small trim work, you probably need just a little bit smaller nail, smaller gun. This I got in a hurry and ordered the larger size, thinking it would be better, and I really wish I'd got the 18 gauge. But there are other tools that I have from Milwaukee, and also some DeWalt that we're going to review later on. Now, what do we like about this gun? It's convenient, for one thing. It works in the cold. It works in the heat. It seems to hold up really well. I've seen some of the DeWalts that have to ramp up. They misfire completely whenever it's cold. They don't like the cold. I haven't seen any problems with this. I don't know what makes it work, what kind of spring is in it to make it fire, but it seems to fire really good. It shoots through just about anything you want to shoot through. And of course it won't fire unless you put pressure on it. It has a good safety. It's got a rubber nose on the end of it. Has a belt clip. It's heavy. The biggest thing about it is it's heavy. It's overhead doing crown molding. It wears you out after a while. It can really feel like it's just weighing you down. But then again, it's kind of new. I'm sure they'll get lighter as they go along. I'm anxious to try the Milwaukee framing nailer. They've got a framer like this. I don't believe they make their own nails. I've not seen any Milwaukee nails on the market. I've been using DeWalt nails in it, which are kind of hard to get in the magazine. They kind of stick right here. But once you get in, everything works just fine. They just kind of, I guess there's a rubber bushing in there that keeps them from falling out, so it's kind of hard. It's new, fairly new, so it's kind of hard to get past that bushing when you first start firing the gun or loading the gun. But overall, I like it. I'm going to keep using it. I'm going to try to get my hands on one of the I guess 3.5-inch framing nailers and try that out and see how the framer does. I'm kind of sold on it. I would recommend this, but I would recommend if you're doing this kind of small trim work to go with at least an 18 gauge or smaller, because this thing is, they make a 15 gauge also, which is a little bit bigger nail, but I looked through nails at Lowe's, I didn't see a whole lot of 15 gauge. And for that matter, there aren't a whole lot of 16 gauges out there either. But 18 gauge, there's plenty of them. I'm not sure what this is. I think it's 22 degrees. But it seems to work really well. I'm sorry, it's 20 degrees. It shoots 1.25 inches to 2.5-inch nails. So it shoots a pretty good variety of nails. Anything smaller than 1 inch, you probably want to use something small like a brad nailer anyway, because you'll be shooting fine material. And this thing's just big and bulky. It gets in the corners really well because of the design. It's kind of offset. If you kind of look down the nose of it, the nose is kind of offset and it lines up with the magazine. The magazine also has a counter on it, and it shows you where you're at on your nail pack, 25, 50, 75, 100. And I think I can get 2 full strips in and maybe a little piece of another one. Overall, it does well. Again, I'm not a spokesman for Milwaukee. I'm just an average guy out there. I bought this myself. I paid for it. Nobody sponsored me. I was not sent the tool or given the tool or anything like that. I just want people to see what it's like for everyday working people to use a gun like this. not an unboxing video where you just open it up and you've never used it before and try to explain what a wonderful gun it is. It's not like that. We've had this gun for a while. I've used it probably the better part of a year, and I've shot a lot of nails through it. And I'm really happy with it. The weight's a thing that's, really, it's just really heavy. I'd say it's probably more like 10 pounds. It's a really heavy gun, especially standing here and holding it for a while. But since I've got a whole line of the Milwaukee batteries, which I don't think that's a Milwaukee battery, it's a generic, might be why it's not shooting the nails all the way. But I do have the big batteries for this gun. I have the small batteries for it. I have the rapid chargers. I've got a whole line of Milwaukee, so it makes sense for me to keep some of the tools around because I've just got way too many batteries not to try their tools. This is a 18 volt. I do like it. Here in a few days we're going to try, I've got some more Milwaukee tools I've had again for about a year since I've been working on this house. And I've got some plumbing stuff, some big auger drills for electrical work. I've got one of the big hole hog saws. I'm going to compare it to the cordless auger drill that you can actually run with one hand. But I'll get to all that later. But this is a tested tool review. We've tested this tool, we've tried it, we've worked with it, and it's exactly what we think about it. So leave a comment below and tell me if you've got one, what you think about it. I do appreciate your time. Thanks.